Hey everybody, it's TR here, and I'm finally in Arizona for winter. And I'm settling into Arizona for the winter, well, at least until probably the end of March. And it's been awfully nice down here since I got here a couple weeks ago. Been in the 80s most of the time, about 10 to 15 degrees over the normals. So, yep, I'm here in Arizona and sure looking forward to spending the winter down here. I was about 35-40 miles north of where I'm at today last winter, and it was pretty nice. And I got to go out and do a lot of exploring up in that area. In fact, we'll be back up to visit some of those areas I was at this last year. This is a kind of a new format for me. I haven't usually been doing these more personal blog updates, but I've had a few friends and some family and a couple of subscribers say they liked this format, so I'm going to continue to do these about once a week or so. And we'll see how it goes from there. If you like what you're seeing, be sure and give me that thumbs up or make a comment. I usually try to answer my comments as soon as reasonably possible. But because I'm old and gray, well, relatively old and a little gray, I think I'll have to refer to some notes here so I can stay on track and not ramble too much anyway. So overall, it was a pretty good summer. I ran out about 4,400 miles this summer, which is, I guess, not a lot when you actually sit down and think about it. But I did quite a bit of boondocking this summer, and in fact, plan on doing some more of that next summer. Probably mostly out in the west again, I guess because the climate suits me better. So the fix-it list is quite long this year, and I've got a lot to do. I've got my toilets leaking. Blinds, you can see here, I have to use a damn binder clip because they don't stay up. See, and then you have to fight it anyway. Cotton picking thing. So those are definitely on the list to get replaced or changed or something done with those, I guarantee you. This past summer I was up at Craters of the Moon National Monument, and I took a rock to the water door where my water bay is. And so that's on the list of things to fix this winter. Before I get too far into this, I want to give a shout out to some of my new subscribers. I really appreciate people subscribing and watching my videos, and Steve Shanklin, Lawrence Constantine, I think is what it was. Yeah, Lawrence had some really good comments on the $30,000 engine quandary. Cray 52X. I wonder if that's the Cray I know from the Sun Valley area in Idaho, or if he's just a Cray computer fan. Either way, it's good by me. Let's see, RC Crafters, David Johnston, Jesse Harney, Stan M., all recent subscribers. Thanks for subscribing, folks. So I've never been good at those funny license plate things. I would have failed that TV show that was on a while back. The La Saver, I guess is what it is. Savator. Hope I'm saying that right. Either way, I do appreciate your comments. It's been fun having to go back and forth with you a little bit on the $30,000 engine quandary, and so keep watching. I've got more to come for you. Ross Pottinger, I sure hope you find a Newmar. If you keep looking, you'll find one. There's a lot of them out there, and they're a beautiful coach. And in fact, the rest of today's video will be a tour of my RV Rusty, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Well, I'm going to make a little side trip here and do a little bit of a rant. And I got a couple things that are just bugging the hell out of me right now, and I bet you they are you too. How many more of those damn Medicare insurance ads are we going to have to see before the end of the year? I mean, come on. Everything I've watched here recently, there's a commercial for Medicare, something, this or that, in every break. Thankfully, they're messing around and they've cut back on the advertising around the Affordable Care Act, which apparently hasn't done much. I'm depending upon it for my own insurance this year. You know, it's one of those necessary evils. You got to have insurance. And I have DirecTV now. I used to have DirecTV from a satellite. I got a satellite system on the roof, and it's always worked pretty good. In fact, I've hacked it so that it would work good with my DirecTV. Originally, the satellite dish that's on the roof here was equipped to work with HughesNet, which is a satellite-based internet, and then also Dish Network. And I had subscriptions to neither of those. And so I had done some modifications quite a while ago where I could take the LNB, which is the little receiver widget that sits on the end of the dish and turns the satellite signal into your TV signal, Anyway, I had managed to figure out a way to pull that off of my house when I still had a house and install it on my satellite system. And so that worked pretty good. But the subscription price was getting awful high, you know. Gosh, it was costing me $100 or more a month just for TV. And I just couldn't justify it. I didn't watch that much TV. I still don't. But what I did was went over to DirecTV Now, which runs on my little tablet here. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it. But those guys, every time they release a new software update, it's buggy as hell. I mean, when I change the channels, the TV mutes. When I just... Anyway, I'm not going to get too deep into it. It feels good to just blow off some steam about it. I promise I'll never rant about politics because that's just too volatile and I'm just too disgusted with the whole political situation as it is to even really care. So we'll skip that for the future. Looking ahead, I've got quite a few expeditions planned for the winter. I'm going to be headed out to the Sasko Town site, which is out near the Ironwood National Monument. It's west of Red Rock, Arizona. I spent a lot of time out there last year, really enjoyed it out there, and so this year we'll be headed back out there, I'm sure, several times. Also, Tucson Mountain Park is on my list of places to visit, and so I plan on getting over there, as well as back over to the old Tucson studios. That's pretty fun. The Sonoran Desert Museum is on our list of places to visit, as well as the Saguaro National Park. It's out here near us, and so we'll be getting over there. And plan on getting over to the Oregon Pipe Cactus Monument Park, forest, whatever it is over there. That's over, it's west of here, probably 100 miles or so. So I'll plan on heading over there. Mostly I want to get over there and kind of do a scouting mission and check it out and see how tough it'd be to get Rusty in over there. I'd love to go over there and spend a couple, 2 or 3 weeks just kicking around and checking out that part of Arizona. So I'll be looking for those in the near future. Enough of my chattering. Had quite a few, well, 3 or 4 people ask for tours of Rusty. And so I think I'll do that for you today. I call him Rusty because when I first got him, everything was rusty. The folks that had him before me, they did very little maintenance. So I got Rusty in 2012. I bought him up in Longmont, Colorado. And I got a really good deal on it. It was kind of tired. It was filthy, dirty. Oh my God, I can't even begin to tell you how nasty this thing was. The people who owned him before me had spilled food in the cupboards and then had done nothing with it. And it took me forever to get the stink out of him. And in fact, these cupboards right here over my head, I actually had to take the bottoms of the cabinets out, and then I took 35% hydrogen peroxide and soaked the wood in 35% hydrogen peroxide for like days before I could finally get all the stink out of them. They were so bad. And the counters, the everything, it was just, the thing was filthy. The folks that owned him before me were, let's say, less than tidy and did very little maintenance. So I spent, well, I think I spent a month or so just cleaning in here. In fact, it took me an hour in the bathroom with lacquer thinner and cloth scrubbing the woodwork to get all of the hairspray that had been accumulating on it over the years. And I'm sure they did very little mechanical maintenance, which is why he ended up with a new heart, or a heart transplant, this summer out in Cedar Rapids. But all that being said, I've gone through and done quite a bit of upgrading on it. Added a tankless water heater, replaced the floors, have done quite a bit of other work on the interior here that I'll show you some of as we get on with this tour. So enough of my chatter, let's take a quick tour of Rusty, the RV here. So here's the bedroom. This wall is a slide here, and of course this is a king-size bed. It's way more bed than I need. I've got some plans working to perhaps remodel this and maybe make a workspace back here and maybe turn the bed a different direction. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see what happens there. Anyway, I find it to be pretty good. Lots of overhead storage in here. A big, long double closet. I've totally modified this whole cabinet here. So in this cabinet I just have a bunch of stuff stored. There used to be a washer-dryer combo unit in there, but it quit working, and so I really needed the storage space for like my camera gear and various other things, so I thought I'd just convert it. I've got my Bose soundbar and this DVD player here, and it's double stick taped to the top of the Bose soundbar, so that works out pretty good. And of course the TV is on a swing out bracket. If you look here where this piece of plywood is that I installed, that used to be an old tube type TV, and so it's set back in this hole. And so basically what I did was I installed this little pin here. And then I converted this all into storage. Tons of overhead storage. The electrical panels. And this side here is the shore power, and this side here is the inverter. The 12 volt fuse panel for the 12 volt accessories. This here is just a blanket I made. You can see that the sun is really bright on that side of the coach today because of the way I'm facing. And so I just hang that up there to keep the sun down a little bit. It helps keep it a little bit cooler back here. Nice closet here. And then of course a whole bank of drawers down there. Storage under here. There's a shower. Nice that it sets off. I use it for storage. Of course, storage is always at a premium in an RV, so I keep my dust mop and Swiffer, and of course dirty clothes. It's got a closet here that I've converted into like a hall closet. This used to have multiple shelves, but I wanted a place to hang my coats and stuff. And then right here is the tankless water heater controller. And so it has to be within a certain distance of the water heater, and this is the place I could find that it looked like it would work the best. Bathroom is a pretty typical RV bathroom.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds of
Overhead control panel. So what we got here is these are shore power, and you can see that I'm currently drawn on phase A, 5 amps, and here on phase B, very minimal load. This up here is a meter that should be hooked up to my solar panels, and I'll get those put together here shortly. This is the Xantrix controller for the inverter. So this device here is a sea level 2 tank monitor. You see I just dumped my tanks. And then this is an intelligent battery disconnect, so you can read the voltage back at the batteries. Slide control. I replaced all these because the panel that was up here was sitting here and it was all wore out. And so I have various switches here for various things. I have an LP detector, which is a must-have.
So that's an LP detector. It just detects propane gas. And in any vehicle that you have with propane appliances, that's a good idea. I replaced this floor with this bamboo. It's pretty nice. It was kind of tricky though, because sorting out this seam here where the slide comes in was a little weird. I still have a little step here that someday I got to do something with. I haven't decided what yet. It'll be there tomorrow. A bunch of my camera gear sitting out today because I'm headed out. So that's pretty much the tour. You can see I use Adobe's Premiere Pro to edit video. So I have this really cool LED light system that I put in. It's really good at night, but you can do multiple colors. It'll do multiple things. If you just want white light, you know, well, it's mostly blue really, but I tend to run more towards the orange yellow, but I normally don't have it on during the day.
So I hope you enjoyed our little tour here today. I've had fun showing it to you, and I do appreciate everybody watching and subscribing and giving me the thumbs up, and be sure and ask questions or make comments. I try to get back to those as soon as I possibly can. But until we get together again, peace.